All right, welcome back to the Drone Deer Recovery Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kevin. Today's a special episode of the podcast where we're live at an expo
In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We are going to try to pull people off the aisle as Pennsylvania hunters and ask them what they think of the Pennsylvania interpretation of drones.
It's a hot topic, what the Pennsylvania Game Commission is saying about drones. Most people that walk by have an opinion. We're going to pull some of them in and hear what they think.
Yep. Let's get into it. We were going to do this podcast here for a little while. We're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania now. We got Kevin over here on the phone. Maybe don't talk straight into the mic, but he's on the phone. We're trying to get this thing coordinated. Bunch of people here at the Harrisburg show. It's been absolutely nuts. I thought I'm going to be able to do this thing all week by myself, but I'm glad I'm not by myself. Yeah, so Austin is hopping in here because Kevin is on the phone. He can't even stop for 2 minutes and talk to the audience. Yeah. Like, they want to hear him. So
yeah, I was not planning to come on here, but I was just like, there's an open mic here. But what I want to do is get people's opinions and thoughts about like what's happening in Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh. If you stand here just for like 2 minutes, somebody's going to come up to you and say something about how's it going in Pennsylvania with these things. It's nonstop. And what it is sportsmen want this. They want them here. The hunters here in Pennsylvania want thermal drones to be allowed to be used to recover a carcass. I mean, it's that simple. Talking to the Game Commission here about a week and a half ago, it's just like they don't even hear you. They see me talking, but they don't even hear what I'm saying.
Yeah. Have you had anybody come up and just say, this is stupid, like you should not be doing this?
No, not at all. Not one guy. Not one individual has walked through here and said, I'm glad this isn't available in PA. Like, they're all wanting it in PA. It's common sense. Like, as a hunter, you want to recover your lost game. Like, it's just common sense. But definitely nobody that at least had, the gonads to walk up here and say that. Maybe if you don't want it, I mean, it'd probably be pretty hard to come up here and say, Mike, you should stay at home. Like, it's not like that at all. Dude, I got to tell you what, so often people like look at Mike at Drone Deer Recovery of what we have, and I want to tell you guys, the only reason we have what we have is because of a team, like building a team around us. So Austin was like, hey, Mike, do you want to do a podcast while you're in Harrisburg? And I'm like, well, yeah, if you can figure it out. So thank you so much for like putting this together. This right here, what's happening right now, is only possible by really good team members. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just this whole environment of being here at the show and everything, just
Have
talking
you ever been
about
here?
Not to Harrisburg. No, this is the first time, but just the buzz and the excitement and just being able to talk to people about the thermal stuff and the ag stuff. I've only been here for like an hour now, but like I've been already talking to people about the drones and stuff, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, and they know you by the guy that crashed the drone.
What a better identity,
like
that's so sweet.
You're the guy I like flying through the trees.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike's here now, and Kevin's available, I think, for a little bit until he gets another phone call.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least shut your phone off for like 2 seconds.
And I'm gonna go out and just talk to people, see if we can get anybody else to jump on here.
Yeah, appreciate it, Austin. So that was probably a pretty important phone call. I take it that was with our procurement manager.
It was,
keeping orders on.
Yeah, you're gone, and we're still got to ship out all these hoodies. We're doing that.
Thanks so much to all the support. Like, you got a lot of people put in for that Drone Deer Recovery giveaway. The winner was from North Carolina. He will be coming up to Ohio next week, so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, and we'll be filming that. When he gets there, we'll be filming it, the training, everything, so you guys will get to see what that's like. But yeah, this is the – hopefully we'll be able to get some –
now my phone is ringing. I just gave Kevin crap. Oh, this is for an agricultural drone, so I'm going to – put that on hold for a little bit. We can get this podcast knocked out. Hang around, folks. I'm telling you, it's been absolutely nuts. The show has been nuts. I have already told you in the beginning how the people, they just keep flowing through here.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I've been to other shows, never know anything that compares to this one as far as
it's
size
Wednesday.
And stuff.
It's Wednesday,
midweek,
and there's a ton of people here.
It's a hard time walking down the aisles.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you're a sportsman, this is the show to be at.
It is. I believe it is the largest sportsman's show on
Expo.
I think it's on the east of Mississippi.
Yeah.
I think it's
a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. What do you like about the show right now?
I mean, it's fun to get out and talk to people. One of the things that I hear the most, Mike, is people walking by and being like, "Oh yeah, I saw these guys doing this thing with holding up taking a deer to the butchers with the drone," and they're like, and then again, people look at the big ag drone and they're like, "Hold it, that thing is huge."
I think that's probably what I hear the most is people talking about the drone picking up a deer.
Yeah,
that's probably what I hear them talk about the most, for sure.
Yeah, and then the second, like, on the annoying side is like how many people. Everybody comes up and says, "I want to put a gun on that drone." Oh. It's like it's an American thing.
I haven't gotten that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hear so many people saying it.
No. Yeah. Well, one guy was telling me that, and I'm like, I have a hard stop on that. I have no hard. And he's like, I'm sorry, I offended you. I'm like, no, you didn't offend me. I'm just telling you, Mike from Drone Deer Recovery has to have a hard stop, because if we don't, then we're gonna start, BSing about things we shouldn't be BSing about. But
you got to go to the Army if you want drones with guns.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen at Drone Deer Recovery.
There you go. So as far as the show goes, I've already told them a little bit about how busy it's been. I thought midweek, we'd be not that busy, but it's been absolute.
It's busy. Yeah. The other thing, Mike, that people say as they come by is, everybody wants to know what's going on with Pennsylvania and legal.
Yep, yeah, me and Austin were talking about that for a little bit. Yep. But a lot of questions. And it's mostly sportsmen want this, right? Hunters in Pennsylvania want to be able to use a thermal drone to recover their carcass. I mean, it just totally makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
We got Austin out there. He's trying to see if anybody. I want
to hear from people, like people who live in Pennsylvania. What do they think?
He's trying to round some up. It feels like it slowed down. There must be like a meeting or something going on.
Something in one of the,
like a seminar.
Yeah, there'll be more people coming.
Yeah, totally.
So you've been here, Mike, since what? Friday, Saturday? It's now Wednesday.
Yeah. So I got here. Well, me and Landon, cameraman, drove from Arkansas straight through to here. It was like a 17-hour drive. Got here at like 8:30 p.m. Got into the hotel, got in bed, got up the next morning, straight to the show. Been here ever since. So that was last Friday when it started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a long time. I thought I could pull through it. I think I might be able to pull through it as long as you don't leave me here by myself tomorrow. I never thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, one guy can do it, but he can't leave. Yeah, so you got to bring like this little porta potty with you and put it in your booth. Yeah. So it's probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to work. Yeah.
Austin is showing me a number he wrote down. A total of 422,960 deer.
Total deer harvested.
Were harvested in PA. 164,190 were bucks. Dude, that's way more.
That's way more than Ohio.
Isn't that double?
Yeah, because 77 was the last.
Yeah, that's literally almost double of what we do in Ohio. So that tells you right there that the demand in Pennsylvania, like no doubt. I seen that they sell 700,000 licenses in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, like
700,000. Yeah. They were saying that a million. At one point they sold 1 million, so they've lost 300,000 license sales. So, I mean, it's a bunch, but not what they used to have.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, no matter how you like make the numbers based on 164,000 bucks, you need a lot of recoveries, whether it's dogs or drones or whatever. There's going to be a lot of recoveries that happen in Pennsylvania. And I think that's why a lot of the people are walking by saying, hey, is this technology I'll be able to use next season? Or, am I stuck with, like I had one guy tell me, I wish I knew about you guys earlier. And it's what you hear every time. But I spent like 7 hours just charging through the woods at night trying to find this thing on foot, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Hey, that guy would be good. He's from Illinois. He can give his opinion on Illinois. No. Yeah, I'll stay over there. It slowed down a good bit for some reason. Austin's over here now, even talking to vendors, trying to get the vendors to come over here. They're from Illinois,
I think the vendors are in turn trying to sell them stuff.
Yeah. They're from Illinois, so they probably quite have some dialogue with Illinois being one of those states that doesn't really allow it. But hey, how many people come up to you and said, what did that guy do when you showed him his deer, but he couldn't recover it?
Yeah,
then?
a lot of people think that was a real thing.
Yeah.
They're like, what happened to the deer?
Oh, yeah?
It's like, no, it's a skit.
How's it going? What's your name?
Good.
Where are you from?
Cole Thompson, Champaign, Illinois.
Champaign, Illinois.
That's right.
Do you know if Illinois likes drones out there?
I think, Illinois likes drones, but I don't think the Illinois law likes drones.
Okay. So they don't want you using these to recover carcasses?
No, it's illegal in Illinois.
Yeah. Has somebody told you that, or you just seen it online?
I looked it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were like wanting to get into it, or what?
No, I actually used to build drones.
Oh, you did?
I did.
No way.
Back in we're talking.
Oh, like FPV
6-8
drones
years
or what?
ago. Man, I was building hexacopters.
What?
I was building,
Why?
4-foot big drones.
For what reason?
It was kind of right. Well, I was actually, I was building a few for a guy. He had 10,000 acres of farm ground. And it wasn't for spraying as much at the time. I'm trying to remember what he wanted.
No way.
Been
So
6 or 8 years ago.
you just came up with how to put them together yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty interesting conversation
Yeah.
here. Why'd you quit making drones?
Because technology surpassed what I could do.
I see.
It just became the cost efficiency wasn't there for me to build
That's
them.
so crazy. I know one other guy that used to build drones, and he's in Wisconsin, and he said the same thing. Basically, he would build what we have now, but he said it was so complicated, so expensive. By the time he got done and DJI brought their drone here, he just couldn't compete with him.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
wild.
It was mapping. It was for mapping.
So you were
for
mounting
farm fields.
cameras
That's what
to
it was
them
for.
and stuff?
Yeah.
No way.
Cameras and all that. Yeah.
So cool. So you're a hunter in Illinois.
Yep, and I own a hobby shop, so I'm into radio control stuff as well. That's why this guy came to me, and that's when I started getting into it.
You have a hobby shop currently?
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, I own Hunter's Haven, Champaign, Illinois, and then Slot and Wing Hobbies in Champaign, Illinois.
No way.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
So I was always selling radio control drones, and I got into building them and racing them a little bit.
So if Illinois would allow you to use a thermal drone to recover your carcass, would you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see a logical reason why they don't allow anyone.
Yeah. But you could,
other than being nefarious and doing other things.
Yeah. Yep. But so you could use a thermal drone in Illinois to find trespassers, just not deer.
Can you? That part I don't know. I would assume you can if you have the right license to fly a big enough drone.
Well, technically, you don't need a license to fly this for personal. When you need a license is when you want to charge somebody for it. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So no opinions on what you think. Why aren't they allowing this in Illinois? Give me your 2 cents.
I just think they're just naive to it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're naive. In Illinois, it's going to be it's just bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I think and Chicago basically controls Illinois.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks for guys like yourself out in the country.
Outdoorsmen got a real small voice in that state.
Yeah.
That
sucks.
You can't really talk logic to anybody because over there,
some of the biggest deer in the country are in Illinois. I've literally had people call me from Illinois, want me to come out there to help find their carcasses. Yeah. It's crazy. I think the market over there would be huge. Think about it from a state standpoint for business and taxes and stuff like that. You're basically saying, no, we don't want you. We don't want your tax money.
Yeah.
Because they don't let thermal drones be used over there. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the DNR just kind of jumped on the law, just like, we don't understand it. It's illegal for now.
Yeah. It's easier for them to say it's illegal rather than tell you, and then later get in trouble or something. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks for jumping in here and giving your 2 cents. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was cool. Guy from Champaign, Illinois, has a hobby shop, build drones. He built drones at one point before basically the technology, surpassed what he could produce as far as efficiency, cost efficiency, and that type of thing. So pretty cool. Guy used to build drones.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not doing it anymore, yeah?
No, basically because he couldn't keep up with how the technology progressed.
Huh, interesting.
Which is a thing,
it's
right?
It's progressing quickly.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, we talk about the DJI ban, and that is because of lobbyists, right? People, like, let's say he built a big company, and he's building drones, and he can't keep up with them. What do? You try to
shut them down some way.
Try to shut them down in some way. But interesting. Didn't have much to say other than it feels like you know, the DNR over there doesn't understand the technology, and it's just easier to just say no, can't.
And that's
do
probably accurate, right? Doesn't understand it, doesn't know how to protect from abuse.
But that, I mean, it just sucks to think about it from a hunter standpoint, that I'm not allowed to use this, excuse me, because you don't check into it, right?
Yeah, right.
Like,
well, and what gets me is, like, the state of Illinois, right, is the one that said they're making no effort to actually update the law.
Alrighty, who do we have here?
Justin.
Justin from?
Clarenstown.
Clarenstown, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Okay, nice. Have you heard of drone deer recovery before?
Yes.
Nice. So certain people that you talk to at you know, the Game Commission will tell you can't do it. One warden will tell you can do it. What's your take on it?
I truly think it should be legal. I mean, why not want to recover the animal any way you can at any means? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I used a dog this year for my wife's doe. We never found it, so I would like to do furthermore, you know, look for it, and why, you know, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I talked to the Game Commission, but it's like there's not even a conversation to be had. It's just they hear you, and that's about it. So, it definitely does not make sense. And you're like most hunters in Pennsylvania that are walking down this aisle right now is that exact thing. It's like you would support it.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I see a lot of people commenting on your stuff saying about that people are going to use it for illegal hunting and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. But people that are illegal are always going to be illegal no matter what, you know. And that, like everybody keeps saying too, nobody has $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to go out and buy one of these drones and just
exactly.
do the stuff you're doing. And you're going to have a license. So why not just do it? I just don't understand.
Absolutely. It doesn't make sense when you start talking about they're just going to use it to go shoot big bucks. That's not the case with all the thermal scopes on rifles. I mean, there's how many people hunting at midnight, right, trying to shoot coyotes. They're not shooting big old bucks, but they sure probably could.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're exactly right, because I know lots of people that do that. And, you know, but like I said, the people that are illegal are going to do it that way no matter what. But, you know, I just truly think it should be legal, because I don't know.
Yeah, and the only reason is potential for abuse. That's all. They always go back to that is potential for abuse.
Yeah.
But
because I saw you went to the Game Commission there, and I was wondering how it actually went. So
yeah, well, they asked me that how to go. I'd say it went well, but there was no conversation. It's not back and forth. It's like, hey, I'm Mike with Drone Deer. This is the technology we use. We help a bunch of hunters in Ohio find their lost game. That's it. That's all I could say. And it's not like I can initiate them to vote on it. They don't do that. It's just like I don't even know. It's like, when are they going to vote on it? Who knows? But as of right now, they tell you can't do it. But,
okay.
No. Shoot. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Meeting you.
Yep, you too. No, it's just talking with Pennsylvania hunters. I mean, basically, you know, he stepped in here just a little bit ago, and he's talking about how he would like it. His wife hit a doe, and they tried tracking it with a dog, couldn't find it, and he would have loved to use a thermal drone to do that. Because Pennsylvania is telling you can't use it, it wasn't an option for him. Tell us who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm Chris. I am partners with Austin in the pet space. So we look for lost dogs for the most part. Obviously, cats sometimes.
Have you looked for anything else other than like a cat or dog?
Cattle.
Yeah.
I mean, livestock.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. I mean, we'd love to. Not that we'd love someone to lose their really cool animal, but like it would be really cool to look for something interesting like you guys, like the tortoise and some of the things you guys got to.
Dude, when this first got started, I got a call once to look for a kangaroo in Indianapolis, Indiana.
That'd be fun.
That would be hilarious. They called me. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come look for it and find it, but it never came through.
Yeah.
What about, and have you guys been called to look for like an emu or an ostrich?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No.
So I've been called to look for I think it was an emu in southern Ohio that had gotten out, but.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of calls for dogs. We've been getting on Facebook and making connections in person and stuff. So we get a fair amount of pet calls at this point. It's just we haven't gotten anything terribly exotic, like fairly normal things.
And so outside of drone pet recovery, you're also getting into the agricultural side?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it.
A lot of stuff to go through. Like I've already told some of our listeners, like don't get overwhelmed with all the information because there's a lot more to do. Like you got your 44807, you got your Part 107 and 137, you got to get your Class 3 medical. There's a lot more to do, but you do it one at a time.
Oh, yeah, and it's totally doable. Like, once you do the first step, right at first, it's everything, and you're like, oh, how am I ever going to get that done? But you do the first thing, and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't that hard. And you do the next thing, and before you know it, you have, we're not completely finished with it all, but just from being in the drone space in the past, like Austin and I were talking about this. We've been working together for about a year now. On varying different projects. And at the beginning, it seemed very overwhelming. But now it's like, oh, well, that's doable. We did all of those things already. So now the next step is also doable. It's just you got to take it by bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, like when I talk about all these things, right? You start getting overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, I got to do all these things. But don't look at it like that. Like one thing at a time. Like your commercial applicator's license. Schedule that out. And just plan on going and doing it.
Right. And that's where that with New Way, with drone deer recovery, that's where you have a guide to help guide you through what you need, the equipment you need, all of those things. That's why anybody who wants to get into this, I mean, you'd be silly not to look at what you guys are offering, because having your hand, like going into and digging into it completely brand new and not understanding everything.
There's so much.
There's so much you're not even sure if this is important to know or not, or you know. But working with New Way or drone deer recovery, when it comes into this technology, it's like having a guide right beside you, saying, "Well, okay, that's right, you got that, and then here's the next step. Don't worry about 10 steps down just yet. Like, I mean, keep it in the peripheral, but the next step is what you need."
Cool.
Got
so
one?
We got
a live one.
Yeah, we got a guy that's going to step in here. This is great. How's it going? I'm Mike.
I'm John. Nice to meet you. I watch
John.
your YouTube channel.
Oh, you do? Okay, so you're familiar with drone deer recovery?
Yep, I'm familiar with drone deer recovery and your latest efforts on some of the states.
So you're from Pennsylvania?
Correct.
Okay. And what's your take on the state? Are you aware that there's a guy that got caught in Pennsylvania?
Was out around Pittsburgh or something?
No, he's actually east. He's toward Lancaster is where he's from.
Yeah.
So he basically, there was a sting operation set up, and they took his drone and stuff because they said that he was helping a hunter, which is aiding in the hunt if it's
with
recovering.
Electronics.
So what's your take on that? Do you feel that if you're recovering a carcass, that's still part of the hunt?
Well, I feel that it's going to get wasted, so why not utilize the most current technology?
Yeah,
to do
absolutely.
It. I mean, a dog's nose is one thing that they're still allowed to do that in PA.
But a guy just told me it took them 16 years to approve that.
To get a dog.
Yeah. If that's the case, if the Game Commission is going to take 16 years to tell you that you can use a thermal drone to recover your carcass, that's ridiculous.
Well, I hunt in the north central PA and 2G. The deer are far and few between, and if you do get one or it does get away from you, there's a lot of land there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen you within minutes.
Yep.
In cornfields or wherever they're still alive laying there. And I've also seen you, say, if I find the deer, you can't have it, and they're thrown out of the water by that. Which I was too when I was watching it. Like, what was the purpose then?
So that what you're referring to was a skit that we done based on the Illinois law, how they interpret the law. So you could use a drone, but then you wouldn't be allowed to harvest it because then you would be taking the game, which is completely ridiculous. It's kind of like here in Pennsylvania, like they say it all hinges on the word take, that once you take it, that's where you're breaking the law, which, I mean,
well,
if you ask me,
isn't it the game is no one's game till it's reduced to possession. So once you reduce it to possession, that's when you're going to possess it and it becomes yours. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it just doesn't make sense. And what they're basically doing is technology is always ahead of laws and rules. They're taking an old law and trying to stretch it to go across new technology. it's easier for them to say no than it is to figure out.
What opinion have you found out about people using walkie-talkies? It happens all the time. It's used for moving. It's used for driving. And if they're not using a walkie-talkie on free air, they're texting.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the new GPSs have talk about, and you can see where your other buddies are. That's totally okay.
So you're supporting it as
I'm
a hunter.
Definitely supporting it because you spend so much time and effort to find a deer, get close enough to a deer, to have marginal hit, or just maybe you're just not finding it. And it didn't bleed, or the bullet didn't come out. It filled up with blood and went down. And it's thick. It's cliffs. It
just makes sense.
Swamp. It could be a variety.
Plus,
of
you aren't like stomping through the timber, busting out other deer.
Right.
Like the people get so worried about, oh, you're gonna scare all the deer. You're gonna scare more deer tracking your.
What I found now in North Central in the big woods of 2G, and I'm talking the big woods where no one's going up, no one's coming around. It's just me and a few of my friends that hunt.
Yep.
The deer you bump, just bump out and go somewhere else and fall right back to where to their normal pattern. They're not doing anything. But before, when Pennsylvania had lots of pressure out in the big state forest and stuff like that, you'd bump a deer, run into someone, they bump into another deer. They're on their feet all day. Here, they get bumped once, they move out their half mile, whatever, they're back to their normal thing. They don't get bumped again, and maybe there's more deer than we see right now because of that. But I know that's a big factor. You can bump them once and put them out around you, and then they're not coming back.
Yeah.
But they're not staying on their feet either. Like they used to, running down the ridge, bumping into everyone. And the deer numbers in North Central PA are not there. So.
Well,
any help up there to find something would be great.
Yeah. Well, they're here from another hunter here in PA. I mean, he supports the technology. I guarantee you, if I could pull, 95 out of 100 people off of the aisle that walk through here would be just.
You should have many hunters supporting this.
Yeah.
Are they stopping in and saying?
No, they are. I'm just letting the listener know that if I could do that right here, pull 95 out of 100, everybody would be for it. Right. But when I go talk to the Game Commission, it's like they don't even hear you. It's just they do whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, they're their own entity. They don't pull from the general
I know.
fund.
I can't believe that.
It's a crazy situation. Our game lands are our game lands. Like the hunters bought it with our money. The horse people wanted to come in, the bicyclers, and you can use it if you have a hunting license.
My thing is, if the Game Commission is for the hunter, why don't they listen to the hunter? Because there's many people that can walk over to the Game Commission right now and tell them that they want this technology, but yet they don't listen to you guys. How can that be?
It's like our flintlock season. You got a flintlock ignition V sights. I mean, there's inlines.
Yeah.
But it's a traditional hunt, and that's what we're one of the few, I guess, that still do that. So it's steeped in tradition around here. Deer camp, but finding someone's chance of a lifetime that they got years into it. They got years and time into a deer. They finally get their opportunity. Just because they couldn't find it doesn't mean they're not a good hunter. It just means they couldn't find their deer at the time. It could have been rained. And that's where you come in. You find them within days. I've seen you. You said you can find them.
Yeah, we can find them up to 48 hours easily. I found a deer that's been hit or dead for a week before.
Right.
Yep.
And that's through heat or just searching?
Yep. Well, what happens is as it starts, as it decomposes, it creates its own heat. Yep, like compost. But hey, a pleasure talking with you.
Nice to finally meet in person.
Yeah,
and be
no
on
problem.
This thing.
Alrighty, it'll be coming out probably Friday. So thank you so much. There
Enjoy
you
the show.
Thank you. You too. There you heard it from another hunter here in Pennsylvania. It's like that's the thing. Like when you talk to hunters here in PA, they're gonna tell you they like the technology. It's part of it. It's new technology. It is supported by the hunters. Game commissioners, if you're listening to this in Pennsylvania, I don't know how the process works. Do you guys just look at each other like do you want to vote on it and look over to the other guy? Do you want to vote on it? However you do that, whatever I need to do to initiate that vote and hear the hunters out, please do that. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to blow smoke. There's literally thousands, probably tens of thousands of hunters that I could get approval from here in Pennsylvania that would want you to tell them that they can use this technology to recover a carcass. Like you heard him. There's some big timber up there in the north of Pennsylvania that it would, allowing somebody to use a thermal drone would make things so much easier. So that was really good. Had a couple hunters from PA, chat in, give their opinion on it. Good stuff. What you were out there chatting with people?
I was out there chatting with guys. Do you want to be on the podcast? Can do you have an opinion? Do you want to share it? Well, yes, they have an opinion. Do they want to share it on the podcast?
Probably not.
No, thank you. The one gentleman said he just laughed and he said, "Good luck changing anything in Pennsylvania."
Oh no.
He said, "I worked for 35 years with the EPA."
Oh my.
What is that?
Kevin, don't burst my bubble. You're telling me this is not going to work?
He said the best day of my career
was when he quit.
The day I resigned, because then I didn't have to put up with their.
Oh my god. Game Commission, if you're listening to this, like seriously, like the hunters want this. It makes sense. Yeah. You can talk about the potential for abuse all you want, but I'm telling you, there's more good than there is bad. If there wouldn't be, then we wouldn't even have it
wouldn't be a viable service, right?
Yep.
Another guy I was talking to was saying, just legally, if recovery of a carcass is part of the hunt, as the Game Commission is saying it is, would it not also make sense that you cannot recover a carcass after dark when it's illegal to hunt?
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, let me stop you right there." He said, "What you're assuming is that logic is a big part of how the Game Commission does things." He said, this is not how it works.
They don't.
This is Pennsylvania. He said, "This is Pennsylvania.
It's not
you
logic.
must not know Pennsylvania very well." So I don't know. I mean, what's we got to get more people from Pennsylvania.
That's why, you know what? Like, there's usually times when I'm like, why do I live in Ohio? Because the weather is a little bit crummy at times. But I tell you what, I can't thank the Ohio DNR enough for coming behind this technology and supporting it. The amount of hunters and amount of deer that we have recovered and put tags on that otherwise would have went to waste.
Yep.
So hats off to you, Ohio DNR. Pennsylvania, come around to it. The ODNR is already supportive of it. So.
And were you the one telling me, or was someone else telling me that there are some other states that are reaching out to Ohio just to hear what their perspective and what their experience has been?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Indiana is really close to being completely black and white on.
Yeah. Can we talk about Indiana for a bit? Because I just had a gentleman today tell me, "Hey, what's the big deal with Indiana? I have."
He has an email from like a warden or something.
Either a game warden or somebody saying it's totally fine, it's totally legal. There's no question whatsoever.
They do want to support it. There was just one way how the law was written based on IR camera. Mm-hmm. If you could use an IR camera to help recover a carcass. But the DNR from Indiana does support the technology.
Yep.
There was just that one law.
It's almost like the law needs to be updated.
Correct, and that's what they're doing. They're updating the law, but there's definitely tons of people that are doing it in Indiana, and the wardens do support it as long as you're using it in the proper manner, right? Not helping people cheat and that type of thing. So we are here to talk to sportsmen in Pennsylvania about doing drone deer recovery. Almost every hunter that has walked down this aisle that has come up to me is supportive of the technology, and I think that's where we're going to leave this one off. Is I believe that most hunters in PA would support this technology. We're talking about walking around. Like, okay, so this is what happens. As soon as you start asking people for their opinion on camera, it's different, okay?
Yeah.
It's just different. That's why when you're out there trying to recruit people to come on this podcast.
Everybody has an opinion. Do they want to talk about it on camera?
Yeah. Where
not so much.
Potential of, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people can hear you. It's a little bit different. But if we do end up walking around with the camera, we might throw it in here. But if not, we're going to end it here. Thanks so much for listening to the Drone Deer Recovery Podcast. We're here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the, what is it called? Great American Outdoor Show?
Yep.
Something like that, put on by the NRA, National Rifle Association. Trump is coming to town on Friday here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, is what I'm told. He's coming here to check out drone deer recovery and get signed up as a pilot. No, sorry. Sorry. No, but he is. He is actually, supposedly.
He's actually coming.
Yep. They were wanting to talk to us about our drones. Some guy came up and tried saying he's from the CIA or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it was all just a joke. And I didn't even see in because I didn't even know that he's coming.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there's going to be...
I don't know if you're a part of the CIA that you just go up to
and just
vendors and you're like,
yeah.
What do you sell? I don't really care. I'm with the CIA.
Yep. So if I don't know, we're going to try to get this thing out on Friday at noon. So by the time you hear this, it's probably already too late. But
I mean, they can still come see
Saturday.
you, right? Saturday. Yeah.
Yep.
So come see.
Yeah, Braden is going to be here. Braden Price. If you guys don't know who Braden Price is, check him out on YouTube. He has like a 1.97 million subscribers.
Wow, almost near that 2 million mark.
Yep, the 2 mil. Yep. Oh, I didn't even tell him I drove from Arkansas straight to the show. If you're still listening to it at this point, I was in Arkansas duck hunting. Yep, I went duck hunting. I've never duck hunted in my life, and it was pretty interesting.
Are you good at it?
I have no idea if I hit ducks.
You don't even know if you hit
There's
things.
no way to knowing. Everybody's
What?
shooting at the same time. It's like brrrr,
Okay,
and,
so
and
really
ducks
it's
just fall from the sky.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So you don't know who actually hit him. But I'm a pretty good shot, so I'm sure I hit him. So,
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise, I probably shot most of the ducks. If
yeah,
Braden's
good.
listening
Yeah.
to this, he's probably going to tell me I'm wrong, that he shot all the ducks. So either way, we shot a bunch of ducks in Arkansas. It was tons of fun. I look forward to doing it again and going out and, basically getting my mind off of all this scaling of the company thing. But I appreciate the growth. I'm not saying, don't buy drones and stuff. I'm just saying there's a lot that's been going on. My voice, I think, is becoming hoarse because of talking so much. So I'm going to let you take the mic. Go ahead, Kevin.
All right.
Talk to me.
Well, are we ending it out, Mike? We're done? Nothing else to talk about?
No, that's all I got.
This is literally the end of Mike's vocal cords, so we're going to end it right here. I think to end, we're just going to say, man, so many good conversations around, people know us for drone deer recovery, but they see the thermal drone. They're like, oh, that thing is big.
Yep.
And so much excitement and interest in ag this upcoming season.
Yep. Agricultural drones. Farmers, if you're listening to this, or if you're listening to this that you know of a farmer, make sure to check out the New Way Ag YouTube channel, because we're going to start bringing some content there that's never been done, just like we did with drone deer recovery.
Yep. Something else kind of cool is in the last couple of days we had a number of police departments reach out to us purchasing their own thermal drones.
It would have been a sheriff's department.
Sheriff's Department, and you're right, Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
One from Canada today.
Oh, yeah?
Saying, we want to be set up. We want the thermal. We want the training.
How are we going to do that? We'll figure it out.
Do we just go to, I don't know, do we go to Canada? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going to Canada.
Yeah. Anyways, that's just another cool thing. Like police departments, talked to a fireman earlier. They use it. They have a whole other use case for it. To be honest, I didn't understand everything he was saying about their use case.
Yeah. Hey.
But it was like they're measuring.
Yeah, they're doing something with thermal drones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, very
Alrighty.
cool. I guess if your voice is done, we'll just end it right here.
Yeah, we'll end it. Austin's over there educating people, because that's what you do mostly, right, as a drone pilot, is educating.
Yeah, especially at a show like this.
Yep.
So many questions, and it's awesome. It's a good time.
Yeah. Alrighty. I appreciate all you guys listening. And until the next time, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave it a review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, which, of course, probably one of those is Drone Deer Recovery Podcast. We're out. We're on to the next one.